Hello.
Davidson.
I put myself on moot. On moot. Is it because I'm a little retarded?
I think it's
Yeah.
part of our genetic makeup.
Pete, you win the fucking blue ribbon gold medal for hair again this morning.
Let me show you my new gift. Hello.
Is he talking to the gift?
Is Pete going crazy? Do we need to start worrying about him?
I haven't had one of these.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a fine gift, actually. Seeing
It's a
that
fine gift.
long hair of,
Yeah.
of Jude just flatten right out like that. Ben, have you heard of Slift? The power of the music. It is fucked up. Man.
Welcome, James.
Today I smoked a quarter of a cigar by a brook in the middle of the woods with Vigo. It was wonderful.
You shared the cigar with your dog?
Yeah, absolutely. He sat right next to me and I said, "Here, Vigo, suck on this," and he went James.
Yeah. Hello.
How you doing? How you
Hello.
doing?
I'm okay.
Oh, yes, I said the fiend, didn't
Yeah,
I?
a fiend, yeah.
Dakos was pretty vague on what would happen to that thing after we
Yeah.
He did say he was no expert in necromantic
necromantic
goings on.
Yeah. James is pretty freaked out about it, but you know,
Angels are big juju.
Anywho,
they need a quick snack.
they needed a snack.
Go
They
get
were
some
really-
granola bars and orange slices so these guys can play the second half of their soccer game.
James gets it. So we pick up with Artemis inside, with Rolen having just ducked inside and peering about for clues as to where the magical item might be, and hearing this shout over their shoulder. To you, players.
Keep a watch out, and I'll have a look around. So basically, what I'll do is he'll start moving and trying to assess whether there's any useful provisions which can be taken back to the camp.
We're gonna find some delicious orange slices in one of these barrels. I just know it.
What you up to, Bolo?
Bolo's just keeping their six, man.
He hears the bell on the ship ring out. Ding ding.
Good.
Ding ding.
Probably leaving port.
Ding
Good
ding.
riddance.
Yeah, they're maneuvering it out away from the wharf.
They're getting away. They're getting away.
I'd do my best to ignore Roland.
Roland's going to grab Artemis and shake him. They're getting away.
The mage hand gives Roland the finger.
Oi, Rolen. Get out of here, Rolen.
Roland's going to poke his head out the door. What?
Did you find
What's-
the provisions, Rolen?
No. Roland's going to go back into the warehouse. He's going to wrap one of his normal arrowheads with fabric.
No.
This is not my
And
fault.
he's going to use his flint and start sparking up the arrowhead to set it on fire. Aim for the sails. Draw and fire.
They see the arrow in the distance, just plug into the mainsail.
Get us all killed.
Yes, all right. So
Mainsail with a flaming arrow sticking out of it.
skittering up the sail, these black figures skittering up to the fire. A big hole is in the mainsail, but the fire is out. Artemis is finishing his enchantment just on the heels of the arrow getting loosed.
Radgulna! My eyes open.
Sugat! His eyes uncovered!
I feel out on my hands and knees, stumbling across the floor to make it to the floorboard, pull it up, and pull the item out.
Skeletons, the ones at the end of the wharf are trying to crowd their way in, start to migrate in the direction of the building that the party occupies.
We got what we came for, let's go. Headed to the woods, like I'm gone.
The strewn cloth lights up.
He'll roll the barrel towards them. And then I'm going to book it.
And Bolo?
Bolo's hauling ass.
Bolo was waiting for Rolen. Excellent. Roll initiative. With this pandemonium briefly caused by this flaming barrel, the skeletons yell out in unison, screech as the party sets off at a run. If Bolo were to chance a look over his shoulder after a brief pause, he sees a horde of hundreds of skeletons booking it after him.
Bolo, run.
It's Bolo, it's not your turn yet. Sorry, bud. Yeah, Roland's
Bolo, run. Bolo, run.
and Roland, fleet of foot. Shoo, shoo, shoo. These arrows fly by, completely missing him, and it'll be Roland's turn.
Head for the trees.
poor, poor fucking Roland. These guys. All right, the
He's
skeletons.
the one who brought them down on us. What was his fucking plan?
The skeletons are closing the gap with Roland. One manages to get close enough, drawing its longsword, slashes Roland across his back for 3 damage. Night is descending. The sun is almost completely set, so there's a twilight darkness. They're booking it into the woods in this settling darkness. Bolo's basically drawn level with Artemis. Roland is lagging behind by like 40 feet or so, and the
Dead
skeletons
meat.
are like right on top of him. The horde is right behind Roland. 2 more of them are bearing down on Roland, short swords drawn, and as they go to slash at Roland, an Ankh egg bursts out of the ground in front of them, sends 6 of these skeletons flying, and the skeletons fill in over this creature and continue on. Roland's turn.
I'm going to throw a smoke bomb in my trail.
I love it.
And that smoke bomb did not work at all.
All right, Bolo. Roland's going to get plugged with 2 arrows, taking 10 damage. I really thought someone might stop and help Roland, but just let him die. After throwing a smoke bomb, sprinting and booking it through the woods, Roland, catching a look over his shoulder, sees he's gaining ground on them. They're trailing away behind him. He's able to eventually catch up the other 2. These skellies have fallen behind and disappeared out of sight. Roland gets the sense that they've managed to shake off these undead pursuers. The twilight quiet of the forest sets in.
Artemis keeps running.
Bolo will stop and look around himself. He's going to put his back to the trunk of a tree and listen. Hearing
Okay.
Artemis approaching, Bolo will say, Artemis!
Artemis, Sonic the Hedgehog stops. Little dust clouds appear under his feet as he skids to a halt.
Have you seen
See-
Rolen?
I think he got eaten.
So basically, Roland's going to take a moment, cast it about, and
If we fucking
pick up
stop
his,
and go back and fuck around and fuck up.
No,
course.
Roland, fire another arrow at them.
He's gonna look
shoot at him
in
some
his,
more, Pete.
he's going to look in his immediate area and see if he can see his friend's tracks.
No.
All right.
Bolo will idiotically yell out loudly.
Bolo, you see Roland approaching out of the dark.
Give me a moment. Roland's going to pull one of the arrows out, sit down, close his eyes, and cast Cure Wounds.
Seeing Roland sit down and trying to cast a spell, he's going to go up to him and start shaking him.
Yeah.
Just like he shook him.
Yeah.
Roland, you fired a flaming arrow at the skeleton horde for some reason. Why would you do that?
You didn't assess the situation.
The mage hand slaps Roland in the face.
You be careful with that little magical puppet.
I take a step back, and the mage hand slaps him in the face again.
This is no time for infighting, boykies.
Roland will stand up and draw one of his blades.
This is exceptionally
Stop that.
unprofessional, Roland. We must get back to the elven camp before the undead get there and eat them all.
Well, despite us almost dying, I should say that our mission was successful. I was able to acquire 2 items of potentially great magical power. What about the both of you? Did either of you acquire any of the sundry goods that were requested of us by Dakos?
Cricket noises.
Did either of you do
Oh.
anything while we were there,
Cricket noises.
other than summon a zombie horde to chase us through the woods at blinding speeds?
There was nothing of value.
And Bolo will do a really shitty impersonation of a macaque bird as he's jogging away.
Artemis turns and starts following Bolo.
As Artemis catches up with Bolo, Bolo will lean
Do we
towards him
not?
and say, Why do you reckon the dead relented in their chase, Artemis?
Oh, perhaps someone else fired a flaming arrow towards them from another direction. I don't know.
Okay, that's enough hard period on the conversation. Just jog onward in silence.
After about 5 minutes, Artemis will stop and put his hand on Bolo's shoulder, listen for a moment, and say, Where is he? Well, we should just keep going.
Blast it, Artemis. It's theatre. Maybe we should go back and check on Rolen. Bolo will turn and slowly walk back.
Artemis is going to put his hands on his hips and really think about this for a second. Nope, he's stubborn. He's turning around. He's going to keep doing what he wanted to do and keep foraging on. He will not be going back to Roland right now.
Bolo,
Sweet.
approaching Rolen, is going to storm up to him and say, "What are ye about, sir? You're embarrassing us with this rabid behaviour tonight, Rolen. What is your explanation?"
We still have a task.
Nobody knows better than me, Rolen. Kill Tylene, cut his head off, and give it to Adriana Contesto for our bloody shinies like we were contracted to.
Our contract was to find out about reinforcements to the Morgax. Those reinforcements are being supplied by Matzo on that damn ship, which is our ship, by the way, which I tried to stop. Artemis was too busy looking for little bobbly trinkets to bother with what we were supposed to be doing. And so I took the initiative. I think we should go back, take a rest, go back, and perhaps we can look at the other buildings.
Bolo is looking at Rolen stupefied and slowly starts to nod. Like there's mad genius in his machinations.
Let's just take our rest here.
We will be separated from Artemis. He will reach the camp.
And guess what? He'll have to talk to Dakos. And as we know, Dakos is a complete asshole, so perhaps Artemis will get a talking to himself.
Alrighty. During that time, Artemis at a light jog is going to regain the resistance camp. Pupil, you are back.
Look at these. And I pull out the 2 new magic items that I have recovered.
It's a case. I don't know. Did Artemis look in the case?
No time to. There is literally a skeleton. I don't know if you'll know this, Ben, but there was a skeleton horde that was chasing us. You may have tuned out momentarily when that happened.
Hey.
Probably off listening to Slift.
I'm barely paying attention to you guys.
He'll open up the scroll case and lay both the items out and then ritually cast Identify. Ring of Flame Blade appears in
That's
my mind.
badass.
Sweet.
Finishing the conjuration, he understands the item to be this.
Cloak of Shifting. Ooh, shimmer slightly fabric moves +1. Sweet cloak.
Dakos has just been quietly writing the whole time. We'll just shift back to Bolo and Rolen. What are Bolo and Rolen up to?
Roland's resting, or he's going to try and cast Primeval Awareness. He'll open his eyes and tell Bolo, "We're out of danger for the moment. The undead have returned to the port."
What's our next move, Rolen? What are we doing?
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back to the port?
I want to go kill Tyling, Rolen. I want to go wring his bloody dead neck with me hands.
Okay. Let's go back to camp.
Game on. Righteous.
Let me just see here.
All right, enter Bolo and Rolen. You come across the camp only very dimly lit by the small burning fire, and you see Artemis and Dakos just plunked on a log
Right. Well, I'm gonna catch a few winks. I'll leave you and me ranger friend to work out a plan. When you're ready to get some business done, you can give me a little shake. Polo excuses himself, lies down near the fire, and and go to sleep.
Roland.
We'll talk in the morning. He eases back against the log and goes to sleep.
Artemis.
Artemis is going to say, he will stretch out and follow suit.
Very nice. The night passes quietly and calmly. The party members awaken.
Ooh.
A relatively quiet forest morning. Dakos stands outside of his tent, conferring with the individual who has not yet been named to the party yet, and they're in quiet discussion. You, my friend, will need to be going to see our mutual friend and ensuring that she is ready when the time comes.
Bolo is
Yeah.
shaking himself and saying, "Bloody hell, it's morning!"
Please, travelers, indicates Artemis, Bolo, and Roland in turn. I would welcome your suggestions, but do please not interrupt me. And he kind of launches into.
I welcome what you have to say, but shut up.
Shut up.
Now, we will head for the city, the capital Thutaradia, in small groups. Travelers, I charge you with, as it were, being the point of the phalanx. I want you, travelers, to immediately pursue the council seat, locate Tylene, and put an end to him. Be sure to destroy the dark gem so that Tylene can no longer use it as a focus for the charm person spell he is casting across the city, rendering an veritable army of our citizens against our efforts. Well, shall we prepare ourselves and depart?
Finally, kill this lecker.
Leroy!
The party and the members of the resistance head south. After some time, they reach a thinning section of the forest. As they approach, they make out 5 figures standing solemnly in a line. Hoods of forest green cloaks are drawn up. They're clad in leather ranger gear with arrows nocked. They are sentries of Thutaradia, and they stand waiting. One steps forward and calls out to the party. Seeker, son of Athelrol, Bolo Half-Blood, the Council of 6 bids you return to the city for parley. Among
Bolo
us.
is throwing his axe into
Oh,
the
Jesus
face of
Christ.
that person.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Call me impulsive?
Oh my god.
Do you
Okay.
need me to roll damage?
Thunks into her solar plexus. She falls back onto the ground.
Try to make your final blows non-fatal. These are residents of Thutaradia, not evil beings.
Do not hesitate, boykies. They are under Erasmus' thrall.
Bolo's gonna have the first turn.
Bolo will move to take cover.
All hands on shooting Bolo. It's gonna be Roland's turn.
Roland is going to dash over here in a flanking effort.
Artemis.
Artemis claps his hands together, shout Uriah, and cast Firebolt at the tree.
The 2 sentries kind of stumble back from it, singed from the heat.
Fools, return to your master and tell him we want no parley.
Bolo's turn again.
Bolo will work himself into a frothy rage and charge at the fellow nearest him, swinging wildly two-handed with his long sword.
Delivers a mighty swipe. The archer takes a shot at Roland, thunk, into the trunk near his head where he's hiding. The other one pivots back to back with the other one, takes sight at Artemis, and lets fly at him. The 2 sentries hiding back here size Bolo up and let fly their arrows towards him. Put an arrow into his leg and put an arrow into his thigh. Bolo looks into the sentry's eyes, sees a youthful elven face, young man with Bolo towering in front of him, frothing, slings his longbow and draws his short sword and makes a stab towards Bolo. Artemis, your turn.
Artemis is going to whisper, Hurul, and is going to cast Minor Illusion. Specifically, I'm going to create a sound, Erasmus's voice, to boom out of the forest. Sentries, stand down. Let them enter the city. City, city.
They look perplexed and stop their movement in their assault. The other three, however, are kind of like mutter under their breath, "It is not the Lord. Attack in formation, as we discussed." Bolo, take your turn.
Growling, Bolo will mercilessly strike down two-handed at this young elf.
X marks the spot across the leathers. The blood, I think, kind of cringes in pain.
And how's this elf looking, Ben?
Formidable and full of life. It's Rolen.
All right, Roland will try and hit the guy who was not fooled.
Yep, you're going to hit him.
Hit him right where I wanted. 6 damage.
Artemis, your turn.
Hmm. Try. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm going to peek out from behind my cover and cast Firebolt at the individual that was not fooled.
Flame explodes off of his shoulder, the opposite shoulder that Roland had pulverized with an arrow, and it kind
Ooh.
of bats the flames away from himself. Bolo's turn.
Do you guys remember in UHF during Conan the Librarian when he hacks that guy in half?
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
That's the noise Bolo makes as he takes this swing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
God.
holy shit.
So 17
And
plus
he
25.
does just that.
Okay, so that's 42 damage. So Bolo eviscerates this individual, and Lola just screams out, "No!"
Bolo turns his blood-soaked gaze towards her and moves off in her direction at a run.
Seeing Bolo eviscerate her friend, she sprints back towards this tree, taking cover, and lets fly an arrow at him.
Is Bolo's axe still embedded in her, or did she yank it out at some point?
Yeah, I was just about to mention, yeah, this axe is still like just stuck like in her shoulder right here. Like, and again, these arrows just like pss, pss, pss. Bolo is just like cooking, and they just are going around him. It'll be Roland's turn.
What's this guy here doing?
He's just like hanging out.
Roland's going to run up to him. Quickly take this and give him a
Ooh.
dose of Tulsi.
He kind of pushes back against Roland and says, "Now is not the time for food.
I don't need a snack.
Draw off your fighters and we can talk about this. I'm sure I can convince my compatriots to stop." Artemis's turn.
I'm going to peek out around the corner and see Roland engaged with this individual. I'm going to shout, "Keep them alive! Take hostages if you have to!"
All right, Bolo.
Bolo, Bolo, Bolo. Don't kill my friend. Don't kill my friend.
Bolo's going to dash into
Bolo.
melee range.
Bolo's going to kill your friend.
As Bolo's running towards her, she's going to take the disengage action. She sees him coming and just sprints off to the northeast.
Clever girl.
So it'll be Roland's turn.
Roland is again going to, please, you must understand. Erasmus needs you to take this. We don't need this conflict. You have a cloak of
Reason.
persuasion. Jesus.
Cloak of persuasion.
Roland, enough with the persuasion. Forcibly hoop it up him. Give him
Yeah,
the old
man.
Fistorino, Mr. Fister.
Yeah. Tie it onto an arrow, shoot it in the back of his throat. Eat your greens.
Artemis, your turn.
Um.
All right, Bolo.
Bolo is going to use his action to dash into melee range, and he is going to use Action Surge to
Here we go.
violently wallop her. Take her legs out.
Nice. And just cannons her into the ground. Meanwhile, Bolo hears the twang of arrows from over his shoulder.
Truly.
You're a bit surrounded there, Bolo.
No problem. You know, I
Feels-
got buddies. If one of them would stop trying to have a fucking tea party with.
Roland, over his shoulder while running at these two, is going to say, "We must talk with Erasmus." He's going to.
Jesus.
He's throwing that back with my bow staff. Baseball at this guy.
He's able to like tactically parry the blow to the side. Artemis, you're up.
Mind sliver at him.
He does.
Nothing happens.
Oh, dinger.
Back behind the tree.
Bolo.
Lie down your arms, Sheila, and command your men to do the same, and your life will be spared, I promise.
I will see you dead today before I lay down arms against you.
We're not really good at this talking thing.
Hey,
Bolo.
Bolo tried.
Commander, listen to his words. He speaks rationally. We do not stand a chance. Please stop. Roland's turn.
All right, Roland's going to move between these two so he can get into a double attack situation.
Badass.
Horde,
So
break
first
it up,
guy.
brother. Blood runneth down his skull after that, after a loud cracking noise. Artemis.
Artemis kind of blows on his fingers like, that's not working.
Bolo.
Charge straight into melee range.
He goes to cut her down. He's going to cut her down.
Will you allow him to hold his blow as she reaches the critical point? Less chance to lie down your arms, Sheila.
I relent.
Without moving his blade, Bolo will throw a dose of Tulsi at her and he'll say, "Now hoop this for me, Sheila."
She drops her weapons kind of dejectedly, like she's passing beneath the yoke, and just takes the herb and chews it.
Now give me my axe, Sheila.
There's a terror, a respect, some kind of carnal understanding coming across her face.
Artemis, get over here. Rolen, take your prisoners into custody and bind them.
I think that's a good place to park it for the night, guys. The battle
Badass.
between these two parties coming to an end.
Thank you very much,
Good
everybody.
fight.
That was
Great
pretty
work,
sick.
everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that did not.
I like the alternative direction. I was a little worried Bowler would slaughter everyone, but it took it off.
Just that one guy.
It was very unfortunate. That was a fucked up roll.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
Catch you later, boys.
All right.
GG, guys.